Hello, everybody. Good morning. It is the start of a whole other week. A whole other week. We get another chance to do things with joy, and I hope you'll join us for an all new episode of Project Joy Live happening right now. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. It is Monday, February 24th, 2025. I hope you are doing well today. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and this is Project Joy Live. It's your triple shot of good vibes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the 9 a.m. Eastern Time hour. Speaking of Kevin Kiley, see, Kevin has a benefit here of being the theme song that brings us into Project Joy Live because I think about him every every day with that song. But so speaking of Kevin Kiley today, I hope you guys got a chance to catch Magical Melodies last night. That's Kevin's show that comes on every other Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time here on the Breakthrough Show Network, and they talk about all kinds of stuff: Disney parks, all the Disney. And so they were talking about Festival of the Arts last night. But I was thinking about Kevin this morning because Kevin went to New York City this week, and he just randomly ran into Nick Jonas walking down the street from the Jonas Brothers. It was so funny because he's like, guess who I just saw, and he sends me this picture, and I'm like, stop it right now. But you know what was more shocking to me than anything? That Nick Jonas could walk through the streets of New York unsupervised without being mauled. Like, truly, maybe we've hit a new level of maturity as society. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here, but it was the coolest thing. If you guys did not see that, go check out Kevin Kiley's page. He told me that he was about to walk across the street, and he saw this guy with this coat on that he liked, and he was like, hey, nice coat, and he turns around and it's Nick Jonas. And so I told him, and Kevin, I'm jealous. And for any of you guys that maybe do not know Nick Jonas, he has a song called Jealous. So that's why that was funny. But anyway, so that was kind of cool. Brought me some joy thinking about that this morning as I was listening to our theme song of Kevin Kiley's Climbing as we were coming on the show today. Lots bringing me joy today. A few things I want to share with you. Coming up on the show today, we have Brittany Floyd here. I've got a quick breaking news segment coming up here for you shortly. We're having our Joyversation in a little bit here as well. I have a fun question for you guys today as we bring Brittany on the show. And then Brittany and I will be talking about trying something new. And it really beautifully goes along with some of the conversations that we were having last week about stepping outside of your comfort zone and all of that stuff. So this is going to be a good conversation today. So don't go anywhere. If you're joining us live or on the replay, head over to the comments. Let us know what's bringing you joy today. And of course, let us know where you're joining from. We went Saturday to Hard Rock Cafe at Foxwoods Resort Casino. That was the first time I've been in there before. It's always fun. The kids loved it because my kids really are into music. And, they have all of the costumes and outfits and things that have been donated by different musicians. A lot of the things are signed, stuff like that. And then they have like guitars and all this music memorabilia. So my kids loved it. And we were there for their one of their friends' 16th birthdays, and it was really a lot of fun. I got to meet their family, which I had never met before as well. And but they go all out. So they had this cracks me up. They had her stand on a chair. And if I just was thinking to myself as they were having her do this, there is no way in hell my kids would, well, at least a couple of them, they would be like, absolutely not, I'm not doing that. But they had her stand on a chair, and then the waitress screamed to the entire restaurant, like, hey, it's someone's birthday, it's Liliana's 16th birthday, and the whole place was screaming and yelling happy birthday and all of that. So it was really great. And as soon as it was done, because see, I had this thought, my two oldest daughters look at me, and my oldest daughter was like, if you ever like, I got threatened at the table at Hard Rock. So I may now know, because because it was just like, she was like, no, I will not be participating in anything like this. And I will say, of some of the different birthday things that I've seen different restaurants do, that was mild compared to, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Sugar Factory restaurant. We went in for drinks one night. First of all, their drinks are like this big, like bigger than my head, and they put like the dry ice in there, and they're smoking, and they're doing all of these things. They do have non-alcoholic versions, I guess, of the drinks. Obviously, they're completely sugar laden, so if you have sugar issues, don't go to Sugar Factory. That should be a given. But we're sitting at the bar, and the lights start, like, it looked like somebody forgot to pay the power bill. Like, the lights start flickering, and it's going off and on, and we're like, what in the world is going on? And then you start to hear "Mm, mm, mm, mm," and I'm like, I'm like, what is happening? And it was a whole performance. I mean, they had choreographed routine at Sugar Factory. So anyway, let me know if you've ever been anywhere that has a really fun birthday performance that they do if you go there for your birthday, because I just thought that was hilarious. But anyway, let's check in with the comments really quickly. Miss Nancy's here this morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Miss Teresa's here today. Multitasking, finishing my workout and listening. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You get it done. That's how you get things done, everybody. So I'm going to give you a really quick breaking news segment, and then we'll have our joyversation, and welcome Brittany onto the show. Let's do it. All right. It's our breaking news time here on Project Joy Live, helping you bring a little bit of joy to any current news that's going on. Today marks 3 years since Russia invaded Ukraine. And unlike anniversaries that remind us of joyful occasions, this is one that brings the weight of an ongoing tragedy. 3 years of loss, 3 years of displacement, 3 years of resilience from the people of Ukraine and from those around the world who have supported them. Anniversaries of difficult events can be deeply triggering. When something is still unfolding, when pain is still real, when the outcome is still uncertain, it's not just looking back on the past, it's confronting a present reality. And for many, that reality feels very heavy. But even in the face of hardship, moments of connection and compassion continue to shine through. And that's exactly what happened 3 years ago when this war began. In response to the invasion, Breakthrough Show alumni Dorothy Auger and Daria Nashett started reading Dorothy's powerful poem For Love together every single day. What began as an act of solidarity and hope became a daily ritual of unity, reminding us that even in dark times, love still exists and community still matters. And even though Dorothy passed away a couple years ago, that ritual still continues. Every day, people from around the world come together to read for love in their own languages as a reminder that even though we may be separated by distance, by borders, by struggles, we are still connected. It was important to Dorothy to not just read the poem, but to have it available in the mother tongue of everyone that was participating and to also come together and do it together. Obviously, like anything else, like any other prayer, poem, reading, you can do it in your own time, but there's something really powerful that happens when you come together. So today, I want to re-invite you to join us every 7 a.m. Eastern time in the morning. We gather in our virtual community to read for love together. It's open to the public, it's for everyone, and it's a moment to breathe, reflect, and to remind ourselves of what we stand for. Because even in times of war, uncertainty, and challenge, love still remains. So I invite you to join us each and every day, 7 days a week, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Why is it early? Because it's 1 p.m. Brussels, and that's what time time zone Dorothy was in. So we continue at the same time that she started with, and I invite you to join us each and every day to set an intention and spread the love and join us in the morning. So all of that being said, that's our breaking news for today. And now it's time to have our joyversation. All right, you guys, our joyversation today is a fun one. And we're going to bring Brittany on in just a second to chime in on this as well. You meet a magical fairy that gives you the ability to fly, but your powers end in 24 hours. You only have 24 hours. Where do you fly during your time? Where do you fly during your time? This is a hard I have questions for this question. Okay, as I usually do. You meet a magical fairy that gives you the ability to fly, but your powers end in 24 hours. Where do you fly during your time? That is the question today, everybody. That's the question today. So let's do it. We're going to take a moment to bring on our friend, Miss Brittany Floyd, this morning, my co-host for today's episode. That creativity is flying when Miss Brittany joins us on the show. Good morning.
Good morning. That's so cute. I love that little, and it's so cute. I'm always like.
Any excuse I can find to have us bopping behind the scenes, I think it's a good one. Okay, so today's joyversation, you meet a magical fairy that gives you the ability to fly, but your powers end in 24 hours. Where do you fly during your time, Brittany?
That is a really good question.
It's a hard question.
It is. And the answer I automatically want to give is everywhere. Everywhere. As much as I can fly, like wherever I can go in the 24 hours is where I'm going to go. I really don't have a specific like place or anything like that. I think I would just enjoy the moment of flying, truthfully.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, I have questions for the question before I can answer. Like, how fast are we flying? Because the world is big, right? So if you're flying really slow, like you're limited on where you could go. Like if you only have 24 hours, because then my concern is what if it takes a while to get somewhere and then you can't fly back? Like now you're stuck.
Now you're stuck. I got a whole life at home.
This is why I have trouble answering things like this. I immediately my first reaction was to go to Italy because I've always wanted to go to Italy. So that's my initial gut. Doesn't matter if anything else, I want to go to Italy, but I also want to make sure I'm not getting stuck there. I don't want to be there forever. I just want to visit and go. But if it was a situation where it was like we're flying really slow, I don't know. I had this moment yesterday. We were driving home from Foxwoods and on the way home from Foxwoods, it's very hilly. For anybody that thinks that Connecticut's like flat, it's not. Like it has a ton of hills and everything else, like big, you know. I had this thought as I'm driving along and I see this big hill and it has all the trees on it. I'm like, I wonder if anybody's ever been up there. Like, I wonder if anybody, I'm sure people have, but I don't know. If it was something where you're flying slow and you just had to see things, I would probably do things like that. I would go to like these untouched places. I don't know.
Yeah. Just because, you know, when you're up high and you're looking down, you can see so much. You can see so much more. So I would want to go in those uncharted, you know, like forest areas, like fly over the mountains, just so I could see what's in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
yeah.
So I love it. So going to her comments, Teresa was saying, I love the feeling of all of our voices together. Reading the poem, I agree. Teresa said, I fly first to Machu Picchu and then go Göbekli Tepe and then Egypt. It will be a whole really fast tour. That's because 24 hours is not a long time. Like
No, it's not.
That makes me anxious to think about that, actually. Nancy saying she loves your wall art.
Oh, thanks.
She's she's catching the jet streams in the portals. Teresa's cheating over here. I love it. Nancy said Italy, Stonehenge, and Peru. So those are interesting as well. Yeah, I have a lot of questions, but my initial reaction is Italy. So that's what we'll go with today. That's what we'll go with. All right. So we're talking about today trying something new, which both of us have done a lot of that fairly recently. So in general, would you say that new experiences bring you joy or do they bring other things?
I mean, of course, all in all, they of course they bring more than just joy, but they bring more joy than any other feelings or emotions that I have that goes with it. So I would say that ultimately it does spark and create that joy more than anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so for me too. Even if if I have to do, I think, I mean, I guess I would say it depends on if, the something new is a chosen something new. Because
Yeah.
sometimes we get thrust into things that maybe we don't, we don't really want to do. And so in those situations, it might start out with fear or, nervousness or whatever. Or maybe even just not wanting to
Yeah.
do it. But I think as I look back, everything that new that I've tried has been like for a reason. And I think back with joyful memories, even if I couldn't find them in the beginning.
Yeah, and I think that initial reaction for us to have that fear is really just common, but it's also lets you know that it's aligning with like it's like a breakthrough. Like that fear, and once you cross over that fear, it you know that you're on a brink of a breakthrough when you have that fear and you choose to keep continuing to step into it anyways.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that on the show last week with stepping outside of your comfort zone. And so many times, if we can just get over that initial hurdle, we can see that what we're doing is for our best interest. It's going to help us. It's going to help us to grow and appreciate new things and all of that. And so it's challenging to me. Let me know out there how you guys feel about trying something new. Does it invoke a feeling of joy for you, or do you experience other things? What's something new that you've tried recently and how has it impacted you?
Oh, I've tried several different things here recently.
Pick
But
a
the
good
most
one for us.
but the I want to say the most recent one was I was getting ready. Nancy had sent me a contest to enter in my artwork into, and for some reason it just felt right. I didn't even have that initial fear, and maybe that's because over the years, like I've been trying new things, so I have the more confidence to do it.
Yeah.
But I just jumped right into it, and it felt good. Even though by the time that I was done with the submissions, that the contest had closed already, which I was really sad about. But it felt good. It felt good
Yeah.
because I wasn't even using the same medium that I always do. So it
Mhm.
was, not only was I entering in a contest, but I was also using a different medium too. So I find that, yeah. So that's what I
Yeah.
have to say.
Yeah.
And it
I
brought
love that.
so much joy during it. Like I got so giddy over it, and it was great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's interesting to me when I see I do this stuff to myself all the time where like I'll be like, okay, I want to have company over and that's already out a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I don't necessarily love having a house full of people all the time, but so it's already out of my comfort zone. Even though I love the company, it's just it's stressful, when you have
Yeah.
a house full of people. But anyway, so I see I'm a glutton for punishment because I'll do that and then I'll be like, let's try like 3 brand new recipes that I've never tried before. So it's funny that you did a similar thing with the contest because it's like, all right, you're already you're trying something new with the contest, but now we're going to do a whole new medium too.
We're just gonna go all in.
Go big or go home.
Exactly.
It's what it is. I love it. Okay, so Nancy said, rarely am I sorry that I went or I tried. And usually that's the case for me too. If I try something, and we talked a little bit about that last week. I did something out of my comfort zone yesterday. I gave a big wave at a neighbor driving by for no reason. They were probably like, what's she on? Because she never waved just before. That's fantastic though. Sometimes it's just that little thing that I think it was it Friday? When were we talking about this? I don't know. We were talking about when it must have been at coffee when we were talking about how sometimes just giving a compliment can spark
Yeah.
like, a conversation when you might not have wanted to do that before. So a little wave can start that too. Miss Rhonda's joining us this morning. So good to see you here today. And she said, do you find when you do new things that it's easier to do more new things and you want to do more new things?
Yeah, I would say so, because like it boosts your confidence when you try new things, and what no matter what the outcome is it it releases that feel good feeling when you finally do it.
Yeah.
And then it just boosts your confidence more to take on new things, like, oh, like, because sometimes we don't realize the limits that we set on ourselves.
Mm,
And when we step outside of those limits and really push those limits, it feels good, and it makes you want to do it more. It does.
right.
It does make you want to do it more.
Right. 100. I agree. I agree. Is there anything that you think holds us back from like trying something new, other than just fear in general?
Yeah, I think like the outcome of it. Like sometimes we hold so much onto the outcome
Mm,
of something. And I think it kind of goes back to that fear of disappointment, or that fear of things. But if we release the outcome of the situation, I think that really would help. But it still kind of ties in with that fear thing.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. What I know I sent this video to you. I wanted to share it with everybody really quickly because it ties in a little bit to what we're talking about. I feel like one of the things that holds us back, especially in the realm of social media, is when is it's just sort of a comparison that we put with other people. And this video is from Daniel Levy, who's an actor, producer. He's a creative in general. He does a lot of things. You might recognize him from Schitt's Creek. You might recognize his dad, Eugene Levy, from a million things. But anyway, I wanted to share this video with you because he talks about with social media and creativity and things like that. And I thought it would tie into our topic today. So let's check that out.
Haven't done one of these in a while. I guess I just wanted to talk to anyone out there with a creative brain who's in the middle of making something, and you're feeling a little discouraged, or you've hit a roadblock, or you're thinking of packing it up, and you're scrolling the internet and you're looking at all of these people that you love and all of the work that they've done and comparing it to the work that you've done and questioning, will you ever do anything as good as what they've done? The funny thing about social media is that it kind of removes the process from creativity. You see the people you love, and then you see the output. But rarely do you get to see or understand the challenges of the process. And that can be intimidating because it gives the illusion that what people make comes far more easily than what is actually the case. And as someone who is going through a creative process right now that is totally inspiring, but also completely challenging, I just want to put a face to the challenge and say, if you are out there and you are struggling, you are not alone. Creativity is hard. We are living in a fucked up world where there is a lot of darkness, there's a lot of hatred, there's a lot of injustice. And one of the amazing things about having a creative brain is that you can make things to offset that. It's a small contribution, but it's a contribution nevertheless.
Love that. I love that.
Me too.
I think that it's so true that we talk about this on many of the shows before. We you know, we only see bits and pieces. We see a highlight reel of, and we can so easily get caught in comparison. And even the things I was thinking about this, how I had sent you this doodling video, and I had tried the doodle that she had tried, and I was like, why can't I get the lines as straight as hers? It's because she had it sped up, and because it was so smooth, I didn't realize it was sped up. And here I was beating myself up because my lines weren't as smooth as hers. It's because it was sped up. So even in those things where you see, like, you're not seeing the highlight, you're seeing the process, it's still highly edited sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I think I really like that video that you just shared of Daniel, because I feel like it shows that vulnerability and creativity go hand in hand. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real. And that's when that true connection truly happens. And I love that video. I love that you shared that too. So
yeah. I think too, we get caught up when we have this comparison, we get caught up in this not enoughness, like, we don't even start. We don't take that first step to try something new because we're like, oh, that comes so easy for her, or she's in a different place than me, or he's, whatever it is that we see these little snippets and we create a story in our minds of what we think it is. And then that's that.
So I watched a video the other day on TikTok, and this guy, of course, the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar is still all over my For You page on TikTok. But the guy literally used, a Rubik's cubes, and literally put it together and made a portrait of Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I've
using
seen
a Rubik's
it's
cube.
wild.
And then you could see the comments like saying that, like comparing their talent to this guy's talent, which I feel like that within itself really like deadens your own creativity. And it's just a reminder that you are unique in your own way, and your creativity, even though stop comparing yourself. Basically, stop comparing yourself. I'm guilty of it too. I do it too.
I do too. Like, it's like anything else on this show. I don't bring anything to the table here that I haven't been challenged with myself at one time or another, or maybe still am in the midst of being challenged with it myself, like right now. And so, it is, social media has made it so much more challenging to be present and to be with self, like, first, and so I think it's important for us, I agree, to get out of the comfort zone of stuff. So with our audience today, let us know something in the comments. What is something new that you've tried recently, and what's something new you want to try but haven't yet? That's the question as we go to break here, and we will be right back after this. Don't go anywhere. Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas. I'm here with my co-host today, Miss Brittany Floyd, a spiritual artist, entrepreneur, so many things. So my bestie, you can't have her. Today is Monday, February 24th, 2025. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we're at the end of February already. I'm try not to go down that rabbit hole conversation right now. Before we went to break, we were talking about trying something new. And the question before we went to break was, what's something new you've tried recently? And what's something new you want to try but haven't yet? And MD's out there on Facebook, he said, trying something new can be scary, but so worth it. Who else is ready to step outside their comfort zone?
When we were, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, your turn.
It just, when we were on break, it just had me thinking, because we love glitter, and so like new experiences is like working with glitter. It's messy, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
It's so worth it.
I went through a period of time as a mom with carpet in the house where I would not allow my kids to have Play-Doh. I was like, we will not be doing Play-Doh, because it's cute to be like, well, you could just have them, do it at the table, Jessica, or
yeah. Do you know our kids?
I'm glad that your child is perfect and keeps their stuff at the table, but that's not the reality of what happens. And even if they keep it at the table, then they're going to drop something and they're going to have it in their nails and in their hair, and it's going to be smushed into something on their way to wash their hands and everything. So I went through a period of time where I did not allow the Play-Doh. And now that we do not have carpet in the house, I'm like, have the Play-Doh. I don't care, because I get it right off the floor.
Yeah.
So sometimes that reminds me that in order to, like, you don't need to necessarily look for a perfect situation, but sometimes we get afraid to try things because we don't have ourselves in the right environment. We don't feel safe. We don't feel whatever preparedness to feel. And I don't necessarily think there's something wrong with that, but there's something to be said for, I think, preparing ourselves to try something new. So if you know that you're afraid for a certain reason, get rid of the carpet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not telling you to rip out your carpet, so don't come at me with that. But make your circumstances, your support system, your whatever ripe for trying new things, you know? Like, instead of just, it's easy to go, oh, well, I'm not in the right spot.
Yeah.
You know, well, make yourself in the right spot.
Try it. I think it goes back, and I'll be a little bit transparent here.
Yeah.
We had conversations in Soul Saturday coffee that was really emotional, and we were talking about safety and how ultimately, like there's outside circumstances that does not make us feel safe, but ultimately it's up to us to make ourselves feel safe. And that's another thing that I tried. I was attacked from behind just downtown a few years ago. I want to say maybe 6. And it's kind of prevented me, and I've held myself kind of like in this house for a very long time, until I had a person that allowed me to feel safe and kind of explore and step out, and made me realize that I am safe and it's okay to experience and walk downtown and try those new things and go to different places. Even coming to see you was a new experience for me.
Poor Brittany, I was dragging her all around everywhere. Everybody feel bad for Brittany right now, because I did drag her everywhere.
But it was weird. It was so weird because, and it just confirmed for me that, that you do make me feel safe, right? You add to that, because being around all those people, especially Wednesday night when we went out, and all those people, man, if I were here, it would have, like, I would have been freaking out. I do not like being around all those people, but the energy felt great. The energy felt great. Even when we went to go see Santa on the tugboat, all them people and walking past and maneuvering all those past, I didn't feel bad, because I knew that I was safe.
Right. That creating that space for yourself, I think, is so important to trying new things. We can continue to stay in the spot where we go, okay, no, that's too scary, or that doesn't feel comfortable enough yet, or something enough yet. But we have to make the effort sometimes to go with someone that creates a space of safety for us. Or even if it's like, sometimes there's a necklace that I have that I put on sometimes that makes me feel protected. And as silly as that might sound to someone else, like when I put that on, I'm like, it makes me think of the armor of God that sometimes Christians talk about, where you have, the only one I can think of in my head right now, I think, is the breastplate of righteousness. But there's all these pieces of the armor of God. And my friend Linda Spain, that passed away a few years ago, I went to church with her, and she used to tell me about this ritual that she had in the morning, where she would do the motions to, like, physically make it look like she's putting on the armor of God. She would be like, here's my helmet, here's my breastplate, here's my, and she would go through the whole prayer, like, with doing the motions, even though she didn't have it in the hand. So as weird as some of these ritualistic things might sound to people, whatever you need to do to create that space of safety for you, I think, is do it.
Absolutely. I don't ever leave the house without stuffing my crystals and everything else. Like, I always have to. And also, before I leave the house, I have to be ready for like 30 minutes before I leave the house, or else I'm gonna be a hot mess. So it's those little things that you do for yourself that set you up, and setting that attention, like when you're going somewhere, is really helpful. It really is.
Yeah, I agree. Teresa said a new experience I would like to try is being incredibly rich, supporting my friends, family, friends, and charities. I think that would be fun. I love this, Teresa. And it brings me to another thought that I had this morning. I've seen a lot recently, like, okay, the word rich. I see things like that and I go, okay, rich means something so different to everybody. Like, what did
Mm-hmm.
so as we're going to try new things and we go, okay, I would like to try this, and whatever this is, asking yourself another question of like, but what does that actually mean to me? Because then that helps us to create that space of safety, and it helps us to break it down, because sometimes some of these things we want to do, they're big things that require a lot of steps. They're not a light switch moment.
Yeah.
And so asking ourselves like, okay, this thing that I want to do, that's a new experience, what does that actually look like for me? What does it mean for me? Because then that can help us break it down a little bit, I think, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Nancy was saying, I have thought we all had our spiritual spheres of protection around us. I think everybody has like those different things that they do for protection, but you have to, I think, it has to be something that's authentic to you. Like the first time somebody told me to put like a bubble of protection around me, I kept trying to do it, but because I didn't really believe in it, because I didn't really understand the way that they had worded it, it didn't work for me, because it wasn't something I felt aligned with. So everybody needs to find those things that align with them to make them feel safe.
Yeah, and when you truly allow yourself to explore, even if it's imperfectly, you
Yeah.
basically giving yourself permission to experience life more fully.
Yeah, 100%. Give yourself the permission today. And with that, we're going to give ourselves permission to sing happy birthday. Here we go.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. In the world of celebrity today, Steve Jobs, that passed away in 2011, had a birthday today. Actress Kristen Davis is the big 60 today. Happy birthday, Kristen Davis. She's you might know her from Sex and the City, among other things. I think she played Charlotte. I wasn't a big Sex and the City fan, but I think Kristen played Charlotte. Anyway, actor Billy Zane, that you might know from the Titanic movie, among other things, 59 years old today. And singer, blues musician George Thorogood, and so funny, 75 years old today. He sang the song, if you guys remember it, Bad to the Bone. Bad to the Bone, you guys know that song. And that's so funny. I had never seen the music video for that, and it came up while we were in Hard Rock Cafe on Saturday, and it is the weirdest music video I've ever seen in my life. So talented and weird, George Thorogood. The celebrities in my life, tomorrow we have a few birthdays as well. Jennifer Bain has a birthday, and not one but two Breakthrough alumni have birthday tomorrow. Lisa Peranzo and Claudette Gadsden, happy birthday to the both of you. And today, I mean, he's a big time celebrity around this area, and he's been a celebrity in my life since we went to middle school together. Arceo Atad has a birthday today. Happy birthday, Arceo. He does so many things, you guys. He's a DJ around Southeastern Connecticut. If you guys ever want to go check him out, DJ Blackout is the name that he goes by. He does photography. He does all kinds of stuff, and he is absolutely hilarious. I think I may have told this story before, but Arceo is really good. As I said, he's a photographer. And he's really good with some of like the after things with photography, like using, Photoshop and all of that. And so there was a big storm that came through here in Groton, and Arceo photoshopped a water spout into coming down from the clouds or up from the water in the Thames River here between New London and Groton. and posted it thinking this is really funny and it's actually kind of good work because it looks pretty real. And a news story took that photo and thought it was real and ran with it without confirming that this photo was real. So Arceo became a local celebrity because he photoshopped something. It was hilarious. And finally the news story realized and they retracted it and everything else. But news people make mistakes too, apparently. And so birthday, Arceo. Thank you for making many of us laugh with all of your stuff. Do you have anybody that has birthdays today, Brittany?
Yes, actually I do. So my middle son Messiah, his Nana's birthday is today. Her name's Patricia and she's turning 84. So
nice.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Patricia. 84 years, man. That's some good life lived.
Yes,
happening over
definitely.
there. Absolutely. Let me go over here. Oh, Teresa was talking about being rich. I'll talk about that in just a minute. She loves George Thorogood. Have you seen that video, Teresa, of Bad to the Bone? It cracks me up. Anyway, let's get our birthday song on. Here we go. Happy birthday, to you. Happy birthday to you.
See you.
Happy birthday, dear Steve Jobs, Kristen Davis, Billy Zane, George Thorogood, Jennifer Bain, Lisa Peranzo, Claudette Gadsden, Arceo Atad, and Patricia. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. Hope you have a great day. Over here dancing. Don't really care about anybody else.
Muppet
okay. I need to go see this now. Teresa said, I've only seen the chipmunk version of Bad to the Bone. What? I'm going to hunt that down after the show now. That's great. And Teresa was saying, based on our topic, what being rich means to me is that I am learning skills of interacting with the flow of money energy in an empowering way. That is interesting. I would listen. That would make a great journal topic. I'd be breaking all of that down with 900 more questions.
Yes.
I love that. Anything you have going on this week, Miss Brittany?
Hold on, let me pull out my calendar because I don't
Your handy dandy notebook.
I don't think I have any. I don't think I have anything set for this week.
Nothing happening with Miss Brittany this week. But I believe next Tuesday, March 4th, Brittany has Craft Circle.
Yes. Yeah, from 6 to 8, I think is the later one.
Yeah. So y'all can check that out. Listen, we have co-working this week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:55 a.m. check-in today and Friday, which means we got to hustle because we have 7 minutes to get out of here. We have Pomodoro and those two Monday, Friday at this time, 9:55, you can check in, and then half day session from 10 to 2 on Wednesday. You just go to the breakthroughshownetwork.com and you'll see info in the middle about our virtual community. You can register or click already registered, and it'll take you to our virtual community homepage. You can check out the calendar there, which will take you to the Pomodoro room and all of that as well. So that we have going on. We have a new episode of Beyond 2D happening on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We have been exploring the topic of love. We're going to be talking specifically about love languages on Tuesday, which I know Farhan is really excited about. And by excited, I mean not. So make sure you tune in and give poor Farhan some support on Tuesday night. And then we also have a brand new event happening in our virtual gym on Wednesday afternoon, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Ask the Trainer with Sharon Saraga Walters. She's going to be asking me about my journey, my relationship with body movement, exercise, fitness, however you want to put it. And she's going to be answering some questions as well. There is a form if you have a question that it's burning up inside and you want to ask a trainer. I'm going to put it over in the comments right now. You guys can leave a question there for our trainer, Sharon Saraga Walters, and she's going to be answering those questions in those events. So that's happening on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. And then, of course, I'll be back for Project Joy Wednesday. I'll be here with Olivia. And Friday, Danielle is making her co-hosting debut.
Woohoo!
Yes. Very excited about that. We're going to be having our 90s Fun Friday. So bring your scrunchies, your Dunkaroos. We're going to have a good time.
Yes.
That'd be great. Anything you want to leave the people with today, Miss Brittany?
Yeah, I have a little thing here.
Okay.
Just say real quick. Joy isn't just found in the things we know. It's hidden in the risks we take, the colors we've never painted with, and the moments we dare to step into the unknown. So if life's been feeling a little gray lately, maybe it's time to grab a new brush and paint outside the lines.
There it is. Get colorful, my friends. Thanks for joining me today, Miss Brittany. Always good to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Always.
I love you guys so much today. I'm Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you that you are the joy. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.